we're known as pharmacists, and the Fuqaha, we're known as doctors. Barakallah feek.
طيب. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Question is from the initials KL from Cairo, Egypt. Is it true, after you made dua for us, may Allah bless you as well in your studies or your stay in Cairo, Egypt, and all of the Muslims there. Is it true that the Al-Hadith were known or labeled or called the pharmacists, and the Fuqaha were known or labeled as doctors? It's a true statement, meaning that it was said. There were people who made that statement, yes. Is it an absolutely true statement that the people of Hadith are no more than pharmacists? They just prescribe the medicine, or they have knowledge of the medicine, but the doctors are those who actually know how to administer it, how much, the dosage, the sicknesses, the illnesses, etc. i.e., that the Al-Hadith were nothing more than donkeys, mules, and asses. They just carried the information. Hadathana, akhbarana. They just memorized the proofs and evidences. And the Fuqaha were those who actually understood the proofs and evidences. And they are those who actually broke them down and deduced and extracted, and those who systematically laid out the fiqh. If that's what you mean, is that a true statement? Then of course that's false. And from the greatest proofs is Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah, who was called Sayyid al-Muhaddithin. He was called the master of the hadith scholars. Jabal al-Hifz, the mountain of memory, they called him. They called him the prodigal student at such a young age. All right. So Imam al-Bukhari was a hadith scholar without question. And his book Al-Jami' al-Sahih, without a doubt, is one of the greatest works regarding fiqh, and from the best ways of learning how to deduce and how to extract. All right. And one of the greatest contributions to the legacy of ijtihad known to the Muslims, period. So that statement is false. And oftentimes that statement was made by some of the Fuqaha who had problems with Al-Hadith, whether they envied them, whether they scorned them and looked down upon them. And we know that the Prophet ﷺ, he says, بِحَسْبِ مُرِئٍ مِنَ الشَّرِّ أَنْ يَحْقِرَ أَخَاهُ الْمُسْلِمِ. For you to look down upon your brother is more than enough sin and more than enough evil. So if someone doesn't follow your specific orientation or your specific school or your specific direction of Islamic science and scholarship, it doesn't mean you should look down upon them. So many Fuqaha, those who were madhabis, blind followers, and fanatical tag-alongs of the four Imams, they looked down upon the scholars of Hadith, and they made statements like this. So that's not true, absolutely. Did the ulama of Hadith themselves differ on how much fiqh they had? Of course. The Prophet ﷺ, he himself said this. رُبَّ حَامِلَ فِقْهٍ لَيْسَ بِفَقِيهٍ وَرُبَّ حَامِلَ فِقْهٍ أو رُبَّ فَقِيهٍ إِلَى مَنْ هُوَ أَفْقَهُ مِنْهُ أَوْ كَمَا جَاءَ. The Prophet ﷺ says some people who bear fiqh and wield fiqh may not be actually fuqaha. And those who have knowledge and understanding may take the information of someone who has more understanding than them. إِلَى مَنْ هُوَ أَفْقَهُ مِنْهُ أَوْ كَمَا قَالَ عَلَيْهِ الصَّلَاةُ وَالسَّلَامُ. So that's the reality of human beings. But to say that all the scholars of Hadith were nothing more than carriers of books and memorizers of names, and the Fuqaha were those who understood, that's a lie, and that is a statement of bigotry. And there are many things like this in the past, statements that were made from those who are fanatical zealots. And Allah knows best.